It is the first week of October. We have officially entered the fourth quarter of 2022. What do the numbers look like? Stick around, we're going to get into your market update today. Hello Central Maine, it is your realtor Nick Isgro with eXp Realty, and today we are going to get into your October market update. We have all of the numbers here so we can break them down for you, show you the trends, and analyze where we think we are headed in the future. Now before I get into that, I do want to welcome you here to the channel. If you've never been here before, we cover all things real estate here in the state of Maine, but particularly in the Central Maine market. If that's of interest to you and adds value to your process in the buying and selling of homes, do me a favor. Go ahead and hit the like button on this video, hit subscribe, knock that little alarm bell. You'll be notified every time we put out new content. Now, as we analyze these numbers, what I want you to look at, as always, is I really want to look at and talk about the trends, because the trends matter more than just the individual numbers, because numbers change from month to month, but trends are what we're looking at. And as we get to the end of this, I think you're going to find there are some real highlights here that are going to give you a better picture of what is actually happening here in the Central Maine market, so you can compare that to what you're hearing in the media, because it is definitely a shifting market. What that shift looks like really is up to our experience and what we're looking at, and the numbers are where we're going to find that information. So today, without any further ado, let's jump into new listings. New listings that were added in the month of September, 202 new listings. So definitely a little bit of a dip from the month before, but seasonally, not a very big change. Actually, last year in the same amount of time, same month of September, we added 206 new listings. So almost exactly the same as it was the year before. Not a big surprise to have less than coming out of the summer months and headed into the early fall, and really nothing earth-shattering here. So let's take a look at what was going on with pended listings and then sold listings for the month. So first, we'll go into pended listings. So remember, pended listings is the number of homes that went into escrow under contract during the month of September. Pended listings for the month of September, let's bring it up, 112 pended listings. Now this is a big difference here. This is a big difference not only from last month into this month. I mean, a drastic drop off in homes going into escrow, but it's really a big dip from over last year. We haven't seen numbers this low really since last November, December, and January. So whether this becomes a trend over the coming weeks, only time is going to tell. As I always say, it's going to be interesting as we move through the month of October to see if that number ticks up. But this definitely shows that during September, there was a little bit of a drop off in buyer activity, or at least buyers who are making offers on home and having those offers accepted. So without any further ado, let's jump right into sold listings. These are homes that actually went to the closing table and property changed hands during the month of September. Sold listings, 211. So actually, this is an increase from last year. And if we were to look year over year, I don't have August on this chart, but the difference between August and September closed listings last year was actually an increase as well. And seasonally, looking year over year, not a huge difference. So we did have more homes going into escrow during the month of August. Most likely those are the ones that, for the most part, outside of cash sales, made it to the closing table during the month of September and had that uptick. So what happens though when we have about the same number of new listings coming on? We have a big dip in pended listings and really normalized activity on the sold. Let's take a look at total overall active listings, 354. So definitely a bump in the active listings. So once again, we are seeing an increase in the overall inventory. And I will say anecdotally, from my experience in talking to other realtors, that is drawing more buyers back to the market, or at least those who have been in the market that maybe just have been sitting on the sidelines because there weren't a lot of homes for them to look at. They're now coming out. I'm definitely showing a lot more homes week to week than I was over the spring, over the summer months. I know that other realtors I'm talking to are doing the same. Where those go, where they go into the contracts, only time again is going to tell. But looking at this seasonally too, or looking at this actually year over year, not a huge difference, about a difference of 20 homes on active listings from this year to last year. So seasonally, it looks like we're coming out at a fairly decent place, and not any drastic change here in the Central Maine market year over year when we're looking at active listings. Now we're going to get into a little bit more of the nitty-gritty details of activity and supply, because this is where we might find some indicators of where we're headed over the months to come. First, let's bring up months of supply on the market. That is, if we were to sell everything we had right now, brought no new listings to the market, just sold what we had, how long would it take? 1.1 months. So while this is good news for buyers, it shows this kind of steady, slow creep in the inventory, it's still historically low. Remember, a balanced market, as we always say, about 6 months of supply. That would be a balanced market between buyers and sellers. So we do see that even though inventories have crept up a little bit, they really haven't crept up that much, and that's probably why pricing is remaining strong, and we'll get into that towards the end of the video. Let's jump over to see what's happening. We're going to do first days on market, and then we're going to jump into sale to price ratio, because this is where the real activity is going on. Average days on market that a home sits from the day it was listed to the time it went into escrow here in Kennebec County, 29 days. That's a big jump. Last month it was 17. Although if we look over the last year, we've been at this level. It's been some time. We have spent all spring and summer at 2 weeks or less really of active market time. For you sellers out there, this is just a piece of information for you to have, because you might have been used to what was going on earlier in the year. You list the home, within a week or two, it's gone into escrow. Don't panic. It looks like we are just experiencing some longer market times, and good to know that if we look a year ago, we were at 20 days. It actually got up into the 40s as we went into the winter and late winter months. So not a huge deal here, but if you are a seller and your home is on the market, don't panic if it doesn't sell in the first 2 weeks. It's going to just take a little bit more active marketing. However, it is important to note that if you are a seller, this is the kind of thing that if you want your home to sell faster, you can really take all of those extra steps to give it that additional curb appeal, clean it up, make sure it is the best looking, the best marketed house, and that will get you those shorter market times to beat out the competition. So sale to list price ratio, take a look at this. We have finally dipped under 100%. We're at 99% sale to price ratio. Again, that is if you were to list your home for $100,000 and it sold for $100,000, that would be 100% sale to list price ratio. We're at 99%. What we've been getting into, and not only does the market longer time, by the way, warrant that people are probably starting to negotiate a little bit more, because sellers are starting to think they want to get their home sold, they want to get under contract. They're not really negotiating that much because they're still getting about 99%. That means, you're seeing slight changes at the end, maybe some slight concessions on things, but not really a whole lot. But for buyers out there, it does mean that negotiations are happening. It's no longer that 20 grand over asking price. That scenario is by and large gone as we look at these numbers here in Kennebec County. But here's the interesting thing. I want to bring up sale to original list price ratio, okay? So the sale to list price ratio was the numbers of what it was listed for at the time it went under contract. Sale to original list price shows when the home first went to market, what was that price? We're looking here, 96.5% or 97%. What does that tell us if the sale to original list price ratio is 97%, but the sale to list price ratio is 99%? It tells us that there are price reductions occurring in the market as we're looking to value homes, put market values on the homes. It means we're probably going to start getting less aggressive on the pricing. We want to really make sure we're showing value in a market that is changing, like the market that's changing today, if you want to get that top dollar, get that 100% sale to list price. Speaking of prices, let's look at what has happened over the last year. Where are prices now? First, we'll look at the median sale price and then the average sale price. If we see differences in both these categories, we can rest assured that we're probably pretty accurate on where the appreciation is headed, or depreciation, for whatever the case may be, would be. Median sale price 2021 was $243,000. The median sale price for September 2022, $260,000. $100,000. So we do see the prices are remaining up when we look at the year over year. Now let's take a look at the average sales price in the same time period. Average sale price 2021, $294,000. Average sales price 2022, $302,000. So that is your market summary as we head into Q4 2022. We're in the month of October, closing out the year. We are seeing prices still remain elevated, still a very competitive market when we look at the overall inventory, but the highlight here is that it is taking a little bit longer than we've seen over the course of really the whole time previous to this during 2022. More days on market to sell the home, and we are seeing some price negotiation from sellers and buyers. Not a lot, but a little bit. So good information to have. And as always, we bring you this information as it comes out because the purpose of this channel is to make sure that you are the most well-equipped buyer or seller in today's market. And if you are in the market right now, if you've had experience or if you're experiencing it right now, would love to hear from you, would love to hear what your thoughts and comments are on this. Where do you think we're going from here? Go ahead and drop a comment below. Of course, as always, if you're looking for someone to work with, a real estate professional here in Central Maine, all of my contact information is in the post below. Reach out, I'll be sure to get right back to you. Of course, thanks so much for sticking around to the end of this video, everybody, and until the next one, I'll see you next time.